Bitcoin is right now starting to break out, and on today's update video I will be discussing all the most important price targets of this breakout pattern. But more importantly, there is right now a signal flashing, and the last two times this exact signal flash, Bitcoin rallied significantly towards the upside. So in today's update video I'm gonna discuss this signal, what it means for Bitcoin on the immediate short term, what it historically has meant, and of course I'm gonna discuss the most important charts, pattern, funding rates, liquidity, and many more important charts. So without any further ado, don't forget to slap up that like button back above 1,000 likes. That will be highly appreciated. And with that being said, let me jump straight away in towards the content, and let me jump in towards the imminent short term on Bitcoin. So here on the imminent short term on Bitcoin, we're clearly creating a new pattern, and Bitcoin is creating a symmetrical triangle. This symmetrical triangle is actually already starting to be breaking out, and the price target of this pattern is going to be laying above us somewhere around 68,000 US dollars. But what I quickly want to be pointing out here is that actually, if we're going to be looking at the 1 hour time frame, we've actually still also got that horizontal level of resistance. And yeah, we also need to break above that level, because as long as Bitcoin is not breaking above the previous range high in the market, we're most likely still going to get rejected. But you can clearly see, if we're zooming in, we're creating somewhat of a W pattern, and actually this is a very bullish structure, while Bitcoin of course already has been trading in a bullish trend on the lower time frames. So I really think the trend is most likely going to continue. On the 1 hour time frame, we're currently seeing a retest of the symmetrical triangle, and honestly we have already broken the downward sloping resistance line where we got rejected from more than 3 times in a row. So yeah, I won't be surprised that Bitcoin is actually going to be moving towards the upside, but of course in order to confirm it, we need to see also the break above that 1 hour resistance line here on the top side. And whenever we do break above the 1 hour resistance line here on the top side, the realistic price target on the higher side is sitting somewhere around 68,000 US dollars, just the same like the symmetrical triangle. So if we were to be breaking above this previous range high here, $68,000 is most likely going to be next for Bitcoin, which is going to be another $1,200 jump towards the upside. But of course, in the bigger things of it all, we're still in this massive consolidation phase, and it actually would make quite a lot of sense that we of course bounce from the high to the low, and from the low back to the high again. So a bounce back towards the upside is not going to be all too surprising in my opinion. But there's right now actually a very interesting signal flashing in the market, and that is of course the moon phases signal. So every single time once we're getting a full moon, which is of course approximately every 2 weeks, and of course and every 4 weeks there is a new full moon appearing, and the period lasts for an approximately 2 weeks. But we can see that actually every single time once we're getting full moon, so here we got full moon, Bitcoin goes up. Here we got full moon, Bitcoin goes up. Here we got full moon, Bitcoin goes up. Then here we got once again full moon. What happens? Bitcoin went up. Here we got full moon. What happened? Bitcoin went up. And now once again we're getting full moon. Does this mean again that Bitcoin is going to go up? I mean, honestly, if we're going to be looking at the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 even 6 times, if we look at the last 6 times we got a full moon signal, Bitcoin went up and went higher. So why wouldn't it happen for the 7th time? So that is actually quite interesting to see. We're getting full moon, and historically speaking, every single time once this does happen, Bitcoin goes up. So let's see how it's going to be playing this time around. So let's see how it's going to be playing out this time around. But of course, on the bigger things of it all, we're creating a massive Bitcoin bull flag pattern here on the daily time frame, and it's just a matter of time before we're going to be breaking out. And of course, what we want to be seeing is of course the downward sloping resistance line on the top side getting broken. And if we were to be seeing another retest on the lower side, it would only be a better opportunity to accumulate even more. And yes, while everything is happening, said it so many times before, any 18 to 20% correction in this bull market is not the beginning of a next big drop. No, that's most likely going to be marking the bottom. And that also once again marked the bottom of the most recent correction, and has also marked the bottom of the last 4 corrections before it. So please don't get fooled by thinking Bitcoin is going to go much lower, which it actually is not going. Because yeah, this new standard in this bull market is most likely going to be 20% corrections and not 30% corrections. So looking even further in towards the data, we can see that of course still the funding rates are negative, which means that of course the majority of the traders are actually still trading short. But still we can see in this region right here, we've seen a lot of negative funding rates, which means that there is still a lot of short liquidations and short side positions open in the market. And if we're really looking at the liquidations, and the majority of the liquidations where we're currently trading at is also still trading above us and not below us. Below us, there's not going to be a lot of liquidations, but above us there are a ton of them, and especially around that region around 71.4 to 71.8k. And of course that level I discussed many times before, because around 71.6k there's more than $2.8 billion in Bitcoin short liquidations. So yeah, I really think Bitcoin is going to go towards this level, because Bitcoin always follows the liquidity in the market. And of course, the more liquidity is being built up at a certain point, the more likely it is that Bitcoin is actually going to go towards that level. And yeah, since there's so much liquidity being built up above us, I really do expect that Bitcoin most likely is going to be grabbing out that liquidity that is getting built up on the top side. And actually, if you want to be trading any of these big moves that are going to come, make sure to go to the link description of today's video, where you can claim a free $200 on Bybit. If you go to the link description of today's video and press on this link, you come to this page, and if you right now press on register to claim, you can claim a free $200 position airdrop on Bybit. And Bybit is by far the best trading exchange out there. And all you need to do to claim a free $200 trade, go to the link description of today's video, sign up an account using that link, deposit $100 in your first 7 days, and boom, you will get a free $200 trade. And of course, if the trade is correct, you could even make more free money from it. So it's a very win-win situation where you can make a ton of money with. So if you're interested in trading, make sure to set up an account right now on Bybit using that link in the description of today's video. Going further in towards the content, we can currently see that, of course, right now on that imminent short term, while we've of course also already saw those moon phases right now getting initiated, we're also starting to see that Bitcoin is creating a very similar pattern in terms of the RSI on the daily time frame. Because yes, whenever Bitcoin breaks above that downward sloping trend line here on the daily RSI, we tend to see, of course, that next rally towards the upside getting initiated. And it happened over here back in September. It happened over here back in February. And yeah, right now as well, we're creating that downtrend on the RSI. And whenever we break this downtrend on the RSI, which I believe is going to be happening anytime soon, and we're literally trading against it, we're potentially going to start that next rally towards the upside. So RSI is looking very healthy, and it's looking like it could actually run quite far towards the upside. And of course, I said it many times before, but always, if we're just looking at history, the most amount of gains on the Bitcoin price always comes after the halving and not before. And so far, yes, I really think this is going to be playing out once again here. Just like in 2013, we got an 8,000% pump, 2016, 3,000% pump, and then in 2020, over an 800% pump. And if we were only to be getting a 200% pump from off this point onwards, we're already going to be placing ourselves well above 190,000 US dollars. So I'm very excited that Bitcoin is going to be doing extraordinarily well. And if it's only going to be a 200% pump, I would still take it, because Bitcoin above $190,000 is going to be something I would definitely dream of and would definitely take with both hands. Further on, if we're looking at the weekly time frame on Bitcoin, we can clearly see that on the weekly time frame we're creating a massive retest, and it's just going to be moments before Bitcoin is actually going to be taking off. And once it does take off, and once it does really push us towards the upside, especially since the block reward is way lower right now and there's going to be less sell pressure, so I honestly do really believe that this is one of the worst times to be quitting the market. So this was it for me in today's update video. If you did enjoy, don't forget to slap all the like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out. Goodbye.